Hello everyone, I hope you're having a blessed day. Today I'm coming to you with my K12 review for Cava. That's California Virtual Academy for the kindergarten program. Last week I did not do a video because I feel like each week has become very repetitive, doing pretty much the same things, which also will be the same for this video. But we did have some newer stuff that we did this week that was a little bit different. So for last week and this week, we pretty much still had our normal math class, our normal math stuff that he's doing. He's doing writing his numbers 1 through 10. He's doing a lot of counting like different things and then writing the number of how many it is. He's doing a lot of comparing, like which group has the most balls out of this group, or there'll be like 3 people like John and Jan and Sam. Each of them will have a certain amount. He has to say which amount has the most or least, or he has to say if there were 2 of them that have the same amount, you'll have to say like Jan and John have the same amount. So I'm not sure if I even said John or Jan, but you know, just saying if they're between 3 people, saying out of the 2 who has the same amount. So he's been doing a lot of that. He's been doing a lot of explaining. They're trying to let him explaining that no matter which way you count, if you count from the front, like count this way, or if you count from the back, you'll still get the same amount of numbers of whatever you're counting. Like for instance, if you're counting some balls or some hearts or triangles or whatever, it's still going to be the same amount no matter which way you're counting from. Let's see, what else has he been doing in math? They've been, asking him what's more, like how many days is in like a month, or in a year, or in a day. Like which one is more, is between like a week and a day, which one has more days, or whatever, or which one has least amount of days, or which one is the highest out of a year, a month, and a day. Going over that, knowing what time of the day you'll like eat lunch or do your homework or wake up in the morning, or get up, or say eat a snack or stuff like that. Just knowing what time of the day do you normally, because I know everybody's different, but around the same, lunch is usually like around noon or 1, 2, somewhere in that area. Just knowing exactly the times that you'll do certain things. Let's see what else he's been working on. Let's go over history. He's been learning about Asia, different parts of Asia. Talked about India. We talked about the Arabian Peninsula, which was the one we talked about today, which was Saudi Arabia. And then we also talked about Japan for the last 2 weeks. For India, we talked about the Taj Mahal, and heard a story about why the Taj Mahal was built. The Taj Mahal was built by a prince. I think he was a prince, and or he was a king. Either one. His wife passed away, and in remembrance of her, he built the Taj Mahal. Like that reminded him of how beautiful she was. He put it into building of the Taj Mahal. So they talked about that. What else to talk about? For the Arabian Peninsula, I talked about Saudi Arabia, different things that it's known for. Read a story about Sinbad and Rock, which was this giant bird. What else to talk about? In Japan, they have these puppets that they're like these puppets. I'm not sure if I already talked about the puppets. I feel like I already talked about the puppets, but they have these puppets that they use, at least I want to say maybe there's like a main guy that controls a puppet, and then there's like 2 other guys that helps too. But there's one guy that has, sometimes I see him with 1 guy or 2 guys, and they wear like these black kind of like small like pillowcases over their faces. I don't know why, they never really said why. But they talked about those puppets. I cannot remember offhand what they're called, but they're like Japanese puppets, and they're really big. They're almost the size of, some of them are almost like the size of a person, like like a regular person. So I thought they were really cool. They had like different facial expressions or different things that they can do. They had one that was pretty scary looking, where I guess it was like a woman and kind of showing her emotions of how she felt, and it was like it looked really scary. But I was watching this pretty much off of a YouTube, because I was trying to show my son exactly how they work and everything, and we watched it on YouTube. That was just some extra stuff that we added on to it that we did. So, but they were really cool puppets, and if I were you, I would check them out. They're pretty cool. See, I got my notes. Let's see, for phonics, He went over his letters, you know, certain letters that he has, and he has to know the sound of the letter. He has to know something that starts with the letter. He had like a unit checkpoint they were just testing him on what he has learned. Some things that we did do this week is he has some new sight words, and his sight words are the, and is. So we went over those, as well as we read a book called Sam at Bat, and it's like a phonics book that comes with the program. There's different phonics books, and we started on number 1 phonics books, and had him reading that and going over that. He's been doing a lot of spelling, like they have, like, for instance, a cat or something, and they want you to learn how to spell cat. Like today he had the letters C and H today, so he had to figure out how to spell cat, and they had the letters above, and then they had like little spaces where he can bring them down to spell it. So it has him break it down. They're doing a lot of breaking down of words, like cat is k, at, so it's like breaking down these like little boxes of you bringing your first letter down, bring your next letter down, and just sound it out to spell it all out. So we've been doing that. He's been doing really, really good with that. Sometimes he forgets his middle letter when it's like 3 letters, and he'll end up putting his last letter in the middle. So just gotta make sure he breaks it down. But other than that, I really like that, how they break it down. It really helps him to figure out how to spell stuff. Let's see. For science, he's been working on like plants and the different layers of the plant, like the seed, where the seed comes from, the root and the stem, and like the leaves and all that stuff like that. He's talked about that. We went over. Also yesterday we went over where they wanted him to put different like fruits and vegetables in different piles, whether it be like a leaf pile, there was like a stem pile, and I can't remember what the other one, and he had to put like if it was like broccoli, where it would go, if it was green onion, where it would go, if it was celery, where would it go, if it was radish, where would it go, and it was just different like little places where he had to figure it out. Let's see, what else do we have? We went over, been reading a lot of stories, read Mike and Mulligan and his steam shovel, just a story about a guy who had a steam shovel, and he used to build and dig holes to make streets and highways and stuff in his town. But then after a while, more different kind of machines that were more equipped, that were more faster, that were more newer type machines came in and kind of took over what he was doing with his machine. So he pretty much got kicked out of his town, and he went to a different town to help them out. It was like a really, really good story. You should check it out. It's called Mike Mulligan and his steam. Hello everyone, sorry about that. I got kicked out, my battery died. But as I was saying, I'm just talking about that book that you should check out, which is the Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel. It's a really, really good book. Sorry about that, to read to your children. So another thing that we read was Sleeping Beauty. Everybody knows the story of Sleeping Beauty and Rapunzel. Read the poem Engine Number 9. Also learned about the Grand Canyon and how tall it was, you know, how big it was, how long it would take to cross if you walked or if you drove, the different things that you can do within the Grand Canyon. What else have we went over? Going over different colors, different ways of, or different types of colors. Like for instance, if you have pink, you might have a hot pink. You might have like a magenta. As far as like purple, you'll have like a violet, or you'll have like a lavender. If you mix a black and a white crown, it will become gray. You have like a maroon for like red. Just different colors, different names. They had like an apricot color, which was like an orange color. So they're just learning different colors, a burnt orange, just different ways of different types of colors. That is about it, you guys. It's pretty much the same thing, just been adding sight words, reading a lot more, learning to read a lot more. Just going over his sight words, reading his phonics readers books, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can leave down below, and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you have a blessed day. Take care. God bless you. Bye bye.